Methane gas in local apartments, creosote in a Texarkana neighborhood, hazardous wastes of all kinds in a dump in Ida. It seems we're surrounded by dangerous chemicals. The Northwest Louisiana Environmental Coalition wants to raise awareness of environmental problems in the area, and they held a meeting tonight. Mary Lee Orr is the executive director of the Louisiana Environmental Action Network in Baton Rouge. She's with us now. Mary Lee, thanks for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Is there as much dangerous stuff out there as there seems to be?
Studies indicate we're 49th in environmental quality here in Louisiana. The problems are enormous. That's the bad news. But the good news is, Liz, that citizens are fighting back, that we want to clean up our air, land, and water. We truly love our state, and we know that ordinary people can make a difference. And that's what that meeting was about tonight. Ordinary citizens finding their voice and wanting to make a difference here in this parish.
What can we do about it? I mean, we're going up against a big business and people with a lot of money and a lot of clout.
That's what I thought, but I've seen victories all over the states, all over the United States. We can organize, do actions. We can push what we call the lever of power by going into our voting booth and voting in those officials who truly represent us and want to protect the natural resources of the state. So there's a lot we can do, a lot we can share with one another. The resources of the people are very valuable.
You are from Baton Rouge, which is, I guess, petrochemical alley down there, cancer alley, sometimes they call it. What's the worst problem in the state?
I think everyone thinks their own is the worst problem, the one that affects their health. Of course, we're #1 in the overall absorption of toxics into our water. We're #2 in our overall absorption to our air, land, and water. I don't know how you equate those, Liz, really. I think the message is that we need to do something about it. That it's a critical state that we're in right now, but I feel those people that are organizing tonight feel that they can make a difference. That's the good news. We need to spread that people are not powerless over this issue.
You were telling me earlier, people power?
People power, yes. Together we can make a difference.
All right, Mary Lee Orr, thank you very much for being with us. I have a phone number. If people are interested,
Please.
if they would like to contact you, they certainly can. The Louisiana Environmental Action Network is at area code 504-928-1315.
Environmentalists from Shreveport and Texarkana joined forces tonight in the first ever forum of the Northwest Louisiana Environmental Coalition. The meeting was organized by Jeanette Tate, who first became involved in environmental issues during the investigation into possible toxic fumes at the Alexis Park Apartments. Don Preston was one of 4 from Texarkana who made the trip to Shreveport to tell his story of the fight to relocate families that bought homes that were built on an old creosote plant near Carver Terrace.
About when this problem first came to the attention of the environmentalists, we got things from the 6th EPA region that says you can just forget about buying out because this is completely out of the question. They didn't say this once. They said it a million times. You can forget this. They just got downright ugly. But I want you to know that Carver Terrace right now is in the process of moving to the appraisals being made on the homes to move 252 people off of that site.
In 1986, the EPA tested the Alexis Park area, and they found high levels of hydrocarbons. They also found lead as high as 6,980 parts per million. They recommended that the area be covered and monitored, covered with 2 feet of dirt and monitored. But there's nothing in the records that shows that this was done.
Mary Lee Orr, who heads a similar environmental group in Baton Rouge, moderated tonight's meeting. The goal of the coalition is to unite with other environmental groups to keep pollution problems in front of the public and to force companies to clean up their toxic waste.